Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I'll be going over the first of the two new Tirnog dungeons. I forgot to take stone apples, but I highly suggest you take them for the boss. The entry is 3 million CP like Pruinam Outskirts, but there's a 90% debuff, so be sure to have your adaptation as high as you possibly can. This includes using the adaptation elixir and the camp buff as needed. And yes, this is my first ever voiced over guide, so please bear with me. The dungeon itself is very straightforward. In classic Elsword fashion, just hack and slash your way through the mobs. Sorry in advance for my very poor usage of Night Parade title swapping. There's a good deal of platform hopping, so you might want a Ventus elixir instead of adaptation potions, or a giant pot like me for bigger hitboxes. This dungeon goes left to right, so there's no need to worry about going backwards at any point. Throughout the dungeon, fireworks will shoot at you. These fireworks will lower your defense and do decent amounts of damage. They also can knock you back, making them very obnoxious to deal with without any form of super armor. The locations of said fireworks are indicated by this kind of marker. For the Ferris wheel part, I recommend using Hyper Excel. You can avoid the moving carriages and go straight to the center, and then proceed to jump right to the last part. Although here, I went to go help the Celestia, but he got it, so I wasted time. You can also slowly ride a carriage as long as you don't fall off or get hit off. If you touch this moving balloon, you will bounce off with hit stun. Again, armor just negates this hit stun and the knockback, but it's important to know for the boss. Anyways, just keep clearing as normal for the rest of the dungeon. Once you're done clearing all the waves of mobs, be sure to put on your headhunter for the boss. This boss is large and has a lot of HP to deal with. You can sit on the side of it as it moves similar to the Velder Vanguard. However, the float constantly tries to throw you off, mostly by stopping abruptly after moving or charging all the way to one side. This is where you want to use stone apples so you don't get tossed off. These flying purple balls cause confusion, which reverses your movements and your abilities if you don't adjust. Kind of like this. When the float goes off to the right, off screen specifically, use whatever armor you can, apple included, and put on a res title. These balloons are the same bouncy ones as before. You must move from the left to the right using only movement and commands, no special actives. Armor prevents you from bouncing, and the title is just in case you don't make it since it only hits once. You don't get a lot of time, so be sure to move quickly and efficiently to make sure you can get through this. When this barrier forms, you must hug the barrier from either side and attack to do damage. Note the difference between the right side and the left side of the barrier when attacking. From the right side, be sure to be on top to be touching the barrier to attack. Whereas for the left side, it's a bit more generous. You can be on the base of the float and still get the damage off. The float will also move with the barrier, which can be frustrating. Use armor or do your best to use skills at the stopping points when it normally throws you off to make sure you get the damage out. The float may also stop moving, have a barrier up, and start shooting fireworks everywhere. At this point, you should just sit on the barrier, try to attack it as much as you can, and use your pots to tank through all the fireworks. Thanks for watching. Hope you learned something here. Let me know what you guys think of this kind of formatting for guides in the future, specifically the 17.2 one coming soon. Zin signing off.